All right, welcome to Sports Mind, y'all. We're at episode 22, the greatest number of all time, Emmitt Smith. You know what it is here. Welcome to Sports Mind, where all roads lead to sports. And we talk ball every season. Here we're your hosts, Legendarius, Passmaster Z, and Filthy Phil. And Legendarius, tell us how you feel. Open us off, man. Kick it off, baby.
I'm sorry if y'all feel offended. I might have to edit this out. But I just want to say, what's up, nigga? How we doing, nigga? Huh?
Well, I'm awake now. My eyes are open.
Huh?
I had my caffeine shot to the heart.
Not my brother, but my nigga. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then y'all been sleep under a rock, or y'all don't be watching fights. Because my man, Izzy Adesanya, he knows how to sell a fight, damn it. How y'all feel about this? How y'all feel about this UFC? What's it called?
290.
Yeah, 290.
Well, I will say, watching it as like a total UFC, I don't really follow as hard. I'm familiar with the sport and everything. I'm not a dummy, but it's just this card. When I originally looked it up, because I got an invite to the fight, and so I looked it up, and my schedule wasn't gonna work anyways, and I was like, nah, it's good. Like, I don't know anyone on the card. And then he's like, oh, okay, for sure. And then, life happens, and I ended up actually going over there for a separate event.
There you go.
And so we stay there for the fight. And so I'm watching from prelims through the main event, and I'm impressed. I mean, I'm glad I watched the card. Oh my gosh, every fight I was blown away. I mean, I need to get back on UFC apparently, but this fight particularly was a standout. The Whitaker DPP fight, it stood out big time because I never seen this guy before, DDP, and he killed it, man. And he's straight from Africa, and I was like, wow. And his fighting style was appealing to me. It was very unorthodox, but man, I really like what he brought to the table, and he beat up Whitaker, and I was like, fuck, okay. But yeah, that confrontation, man. Oh, that set me off because I started standing up. I was like, what? Like, I was very impressed. He does know how to sell a fight. I am interested, and I'll probably try and see this fight.
And for y'all that didn't here's the audio, so you know what I'm talking about. You don't think I just came in here wild flagrant. So
let's go, nigga. What's up, bitch? Let's go, nigga. Yeah, nigga. What the fuck you gonna do, nigga? Yeah, my African brother. Yeah, my African brother. What's up, nigga?
I'm African, but I ain't no brother of yours, son.
My nigga, let's go. You my nigga for real. I'll show you.
So what are you saying to everybody?
Let's go, nigga. What's up, bitch?
So, for a little backstory there, DDP is South African, but he looks white.
Gotcha.
And he was saying that he's more African than Stylebender and Kamaru Usman because he actually trains in South Africa, where they train like elsewhere. So that was basically the reason why Izzy took that route, because it's just like, oh, you black, you're more African than me. What's up, nigga?
Yeah,
you feel me?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, because I honestly didn't see it. So
yeah, and then I want to shout out Dana White because they tried to make it a story and he just shut it down.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Racial. Who did? Who dropped the racial?
Israel was saying over and over, yeah.
He's black.
50 N-bombs.
Okay, he's black. Who gives it?
I was going to say, so you don't have any concern about the way the build-up, the tension between those two?
I could care less. This is the fight business. Israel Adesanya can say whatever he wants to say. Who gives it? Why are people bitching about that?
Some people.
Of course they are. Oh, okay. All right, got it. Yeah. Too bad.
All right.
Yeah.
Last thing.
Love it.
Yeah.
People were really trying to make that a thing. It's like, he's black. He can say what he wants. Like, fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly. And then, hey, you talking about, even though if you're South African, you're more African than me, like, what's up then, nigga? Like, what? Like, I get it. I get the context now. It's like, you a nigga now. So don't run away.
And on top of that, anyone's like, oh, it's inappropriate. Like, don't sit here and act like you don't listen to Drake, motherfuckers. Kendrick,
right?
Any fucking rapper at all. I know your favorite rapper says nigga in their song. Like, stop.
And I know when you go to their concerts, you're the first one saying it and the loudest with your chest. So
and I know you saying it in your car on the way to work, at your computer desk.
And I know you're saying it in your little group chats with your little meme clown homies. So let's come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway,
Anyway,
But the fight after that was the one that really blew my face off. Like I said, I don't really know any of these fighters, but Alexandre Pantoja and Brandon Moreno. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, what a brawl of a fight that was. And the house was going for Brandon Moreno. I mean, the house as in like the house I was watching it at. So I was like, okay, for sure, he must be pretty good. But shit, I did not know this was the second time they were fighting. And damn, Pantoja, man, like he was, man, you don't know what you don't know what you get in a fighter, but he was fighting, man. And he gave Brandon Moreno a run for his money.
Yeah. And both of them got a chin and a half on them because, boy, I thought some of those were knockout shots, but they were not. They stood in there and they were just throwing blows for 5 rounds, 25 minutes.
Yeah, and then they take it to the ground, and you're thinking, all right, we're gonna see something else. No, they're just keep going, like figuring it out, figuring it out. There's an escape, there's an escape. I was like, wow, man, this is like they were really going in. And so yeah, I went split decision, but it could have gone either
Yeah.
way. Pantoja ended up taking it, but damn. But whew, and it was for the belt.
Yeah. And then Volskansky, I don't know how to say his name correctly, but y'all know who he is. Came in there, knocked that boy out once again.
Yeah, Yair Rodriguez, he
business.
got mauled.
Yeah, he handled business pretty quickly, and yeah, man, it was a great card. It was.
I was checking.
Card.
I was
like
checking
big names, but that was a great card.
Yeah, and I was checking the site before the main event, Rodriguez Volkanovski fight, and I'm checking, my site, and they had an over under on takedowns, and it was 3.5 for Volkanovski, and I was like, I don't know, and I was asking the house, I was like, hey, is this a good bet or what? They're like 3.5. Oh yeah, take it for sure, take it, dude. He hit that shit in the first. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, so he captured the featherweight title, but let's not also forget that he fought at lightweight. But my man's he got worked in that lightweight fight last time, so hopefully he goes back up to lightweight and fights for that belt against Islam Makhachev again. But for right now, he's still got one belt. And that was a great card.
Yeah,
Master, were you able to see any of this fight or no?
Nah, I didn't see it. Unfortunately, I'll say the schedule didn't allow me to, so I missed all the fun, y'all.
Yeah.
The styles makes fights at the end of the day, so I'm gonna have to check it out.
Oh, definitely. Anyone else who missed it, it's worth seeing the highlights for sure. It was definitely an impressive card. Speaking as someone who knows not much about UFC, it was really good.
Yeah. And moving on to some other things that are really good. Finally, NBA. Things that I've been saying basically all last year. So now they changed the rules. If you win your first challenge, you get a second challenge. Like what should always happen? It's like, hey, ref, you got it wrong. And they're like, yeah, you're right, we did. Well, too bad now. You can't challenge again. So I feel like this was a long time coming, and it's good that they did this because there's so many things that like this can affect, especially like you look at early game because everyone wants to save a challenge for those last 2 minutes. But now like think about second quarter, your player gets called for like their third foul. You challenge it, like that's a game changing one where it's like initially you'd have to be sitting on the bench the rest of the half. You challenge it back to 2, and then on top of that, you're like, all right, like let me like back off 2. Let me like stop being so aggressive. So I like that. And then they added in an in-game flop penalty, which it's fine with me because like the flopping is out of control. Like, well, it's not out of control. Like, it's not as bad as it seems. My only issue with the flop penalty is like they don't like stop and call it right away. So it's just
exactly.
They wait for the next dead ball to call the flop. So it's just like, throughout the course of a game, let's say it's like the fourth quarter, somebody flops with 5 minutes to go. It's a tie game. And then there's no dead ball until 3 minutes. And then at 3 minutes, like, hey, by the way, you get a free throw because they flopped 2 minutes ago. Like,
yeah, exactly. I think it just messes with the pace of the game, because it's like if you're gonna penalize somebody for flopping, just get it there. But then I guess the risk would be what, like slowing down the game too, because every call you're gonna do, it's like, all right, you get a technical, or technical free throw and shit. So I don't know.
I feel
We'll
like
see how it
I
works.
feel like at the same time it evens out because like if the ref did call the flop right away, like the players would know it's like, all right, can't be on that bullshit anymore. It's like you're flopping, free throw.
Yeah.
You're flopping, free throw. Like eventually, like, all right, let me stop flopping, like pretty quickly here.
Yeah, a part of me does want to believe the execution will be a bit more tighter than the explanation, because I do agree about how long till the next dead ball you're gonna wait to call that, and that
Yeah.
could impact the game. But the other way too, if they immediately call it, it could also impact the game, because then you're arguing like, oh, okay, we're moving into NFL territory because we're stopping the clock every single time something happens. So
Yeah.
I think they just have to find the middle ground. I mean, the good news or the silver lining, if it is totally bad, is this is only a 1-year trial, but I I'm just kind of glad at least they're attempting to address it, because hell, man, some of these flops, man.
Some of these flops are insane. So yeah, no, I mean, at least let's just put it this way: at least they're being proactive. So I'll take
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's I'm definitely what I'm taking from it. You guys been looking at anything from summer league? Anything been catching your eyes, or not really?
Honestly, I only watched summer league for Victor Wembanyama, and that was it. Like everybody else, it's just for the birds. It's like if you have young players you like to go see, cool. But summer league was never really much of a fan. So
Yeah, once they started shutting down
Well, just
like the top three picks, I was kind of over it. I watched like a couple of the Lakers games. Wasn't really impressed with that either. So not the Lakers, and it's not like a legit like top pick. Then I'm not too interested. I see like some, and for the most part, it's been like second year players that have really been dominant, not like these incoming rookies.
right,
So that kind of it's just like cool. You're a second year player. Like you're better than everybody. Or you're better than these people that aren't going to get drafted. I get it. Like now let's see what you can do against the people in the league.
yeah, basically.
well, do you see? Well, who in particular is catching your eyes that you think is ready to get in the rotation?
Jabari Smith,
Oh, yes, sir.
the Rockets, like he's been hooping, like
Yes, sir.
just like a level above everybody. Chet Holmgren, he's back.
Yeah,
He's been,
Yeah, we knew that. He just had to stay away from those open gyms, but we knew he was going to be a problem once he got back on with the
yeah,
muscle.
yeah. But outside
Keegan
of that,
Murray, man.
like some of it, it's kind of like whatever because like you see like Kenny Lofton Jr. getting buckets, but it's like cool, but you're not going to be able to play like that like in the NBA. Like you can do this against like the G leaguers, the summer league guys, but like his style of play, like that's not how the game is played anymore.
You're right.
How about you, Filthy? You been watching people?
I've been watching a little bit here and there for sure, just because it's just easier to have on the background. Just to, I mean, commentary off. I'm like paying attention to other stuff anyways, but it's just on whatever. But I will say, outside of the names you guys said, man, Max Christie's been really catching my eye. I just like what he's doing. I feel like his presence stands out on the court. I see him. I feel him as a player, what he's doing. So I think that's good in terms of standing out above the crop. It would be interesting to see if he does get it in the rotation and do something, but I think he could make a contribution, and he just stood out to me specifically. I was mainly watching Lakers stuff, and also Jabari Smith, like I said, but that was what really made me to talk about Summer League to begin with. Jabari Smith's performance has just been wow. But as you said, there's a separation between people who've been there and new people, and people who are going to go to the G League anyways. So I totally understand the division of talent in the Summer League.
Yeah, that's all that really is. So
Yeah, my thing with Christie is I still don't see him like getting into the rotation because like our depth now it's just like, all right, who you want in the game? Like Max Christie or Vando? It's like Vando, Rui, Reed.
Yeah, but
Like
given how the team's constructed, we have players that will not even play a fully 82 game season. It's totally possible. Hey, you can get in 2, 3, several games, Christie. Why not? Here's your chance to make an impact. Not impossible.
I'm not feeling it. I'm not impressed. I'm not like, oh, we really need to get this dude in the lineup now. Like he's definitely gonna like crack in the rotation. I'm still just like, if you're playing, that means that somebody's hurt.
Yeah,
Like if you're on the court, like I'm not feeling great about our chances.
put it this way:
Yeah.
Like
the
we picked up
Lakers.
Cam Reddish, bro. Like come on, like
Yeah.
Max Christie ain't on Cam Reddish level, and that's not saying much.
And plus, it's like the falling for the whole THT thing again. So
Yeah, like come on, Reddish, Torian Prince, Vincent, Vando, Rui, Reeves, D'Lo, and then Max Christie. That was like 10 people I named.
Okay, fair enough. But I did want to loop you guys back around to Victor Wembanyama only because, like, yes, he did get shut down after two games. Obviously, game 2 was way better than game 1, but it's the kind of the off the court stuff that's kind of interesting. I want to bring up to you guys. He seems kind of overwhelmed just doing media, just the normal like day-to-day stuff. I just wonder how you guys think this would go into season-long pressure, 82-game season. Do you think that would affect him doing the constant media, NBA showing face, doing all that stuff, what it means to be in the NBA as an employee, plus being on the court? He really just wants to do court business. That's it, which is nothing wrong with that. But
right.
you can just see, even in the short time that he was doing it, he did seem kind of like, all right, I'm kind of over this.
Well, I feel like it was also just because of because he's at Summer League and he's the number 1 pick, like he's the center of attention. But like once the actual season starts, it's like you're like number like 10 or 12 in terms of like media
attention. Yeah.
Attention. So I just feel like he's getting a lot right now. I mean, it's the summer, so there's not a lot to talk about. So they're like, all right, Wemby. What do you guys think? Because all these takes on Wemby have been insane. It's like, I think he's going to be MVP in 4 years and Defensive Player of the Year, 4 years. Like, it's just like, why?
They're setting up this kid to fail. That's as far as
why? Because he like played like he scored 27 points against summer leaguers. Like, then what's Jabari Smith going to do? Because he's averaging over 30. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I just feel like there's too much. Like they're just talking because there's not a lot to talk about. And then also like the Britney Spears thing sort of elevated it a little bit. And Britney, like I said, she doing that promo. She probably dropping an album soon. Check this out. She wants an apology, guys.
For who? From who? For what?
All she has to do is look at herself in the mirror. Man, I'm sorry for hitting you.
I didn't appreciate the people saying that I deserve to be hit because no woman ever deserves to be hit. I simply tapped him on the back, and I was backhanded, hit my face, came back on the floor. My best friend picked me up and held me. And I did get an apology at my table.
So she said she got an apology at the table, but she wants a public apology. And it's just like, bro, shut up.
No
one cares.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah, it's just because she has some hurt feelings.
Like, Wemby didn't hit you. So if you want a public apology, like, do you want it from the security guard? Like, nobody knows who the fuck that guy is.
Yeah, exactly. He was doing his job. So,
but there's no one to apologize. She hit herself. This whole thing is because she's embarrassed. That's all it is. It's just, this is such a non-story. She just whatever.
I'm just saying all that.
Album dropping in 3 months, y'all.
Yeah, I was just saying all that to say is like I feel that's why there's like all this extra media attention, just because that situation kind of elevated things.
Right, exactly. And I think it's just, with everything else comes with practice and time. So Victor, he's going to get more comfortable, or at least keeping his distance and boundaries with the media. And then of course being in the Spurs, San Antonio small market anyway. So like what Legendary said, he's probably going to be top 15 maybe, on getting like national coverage unless he does something like historical.
Yeah.
So.
Well, in terms of hype and pressure, this connects to the next thing because, Pop, he got the extendo. He got another 5 years for $80 million. He had to show Monty Williams what's good and let him know who really is a top coach in this league. But at his age and the 5-year commitment with Victor Wembanyama, there is some talk that people are already kind of trying to crown the Spurs within the next 5 years of Pop staying. That means this is definitely going to be an NBA Finals team within those 5 years.
Yeah,
No,
I don't think that's what it means. I think it's more signaling that like we're gonna
he's
take our time and do things the right way with him.
exactly. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the finals team, get out of here.
Yeah,
You know how the media loves Pop.
yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
Pop already has 5 rings. Like Pop isn't coaching for more rings. Pop is coaching because he loves to coach. So
yeah,
Yeah,
for
I
him,
agree.
it's just like let me get these vets in here in terms of like David Robinson, Tim Duncan, teach Victor how to play the right way, be a big man, put muscle on, all those type of things. And there's no rush. I'm here for 5 years. Like you're not gonna fire me. I'm not gonna go anywhere. So I'm committed to helping you guys, progress Victor over these next 5 years. And then after those 5 years, maybe he like retires and passes it on to somebody else. And then that next coach is like, all right, bro, it's on you. I set him up. I
yeah,
set you up. Now I'm passing the torch to you.
exactly.
And then that's when the championship window starts, but not before.
Right. I'm saying because by the time Pop's contract ends, Wemby would be 24 years old. 24. So yeah,
Crazy.
I'm not gonna be like, yeah, no, bro, you gotta win now. It's like, nah, like take your time. And that's the thing that a lot of folks in the media and fans don't really understand about what historical, greatness and trajectories and all that stuff. It's not like most of these folks have been winning early. They win later when they get in their prime. So Magic Johnson's the only person I know of that won as a rookie.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well, it'll definitely be interesting to see. But going on, I wanted to ask you guys this. Going back to the Jabari Smith real quick. If he does get in and make an impact, and the Rockets team the new version Rockets has constructed going into the season, do you guys see them actually maybe like a dark horse for the play-in, or is this more just like more hype and the Rockets are just gonna do the Rockets and not do much?
I think they're not. I honestly, the Rockets to me, I think it's going to be more of like a wait and see type of deal. I need to see how it all looks with Dylan Brooks, uh, Fred Van Vliet, and all the young dudes getting together. I mean, they're such a guard heavy team. It's hard for me to even think that they're gonna make it to the play-in. But weirder things have happened. Weirder things have happened.
I got you. Hell no.
Yeah,
Talking about.
that's a good one.
You know how loaded the West is? Like play.
Yeah, they're not.
Come on,
I
man.
don't think. I actually don't think so. Yeah,
Come on,
it's just hard to really be like Jalen Suggs. Like I don't know, man. I don't buy into the Rockets. You're right.
Dallas gonna take a step forward. OKC taking a step forward.
Yeah.
Like Minnesota, who knows?
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of
No,
Karl Anthony Towns. Like
Like,
the
come on.
play-in's his finals, bro. The
Hey, man.
play-in is Karl Anthony Towns' finals.
Hey man, that's more impressive. That's more impressive than what Denver did winning the finals, man. We made it to the playoffs and lost in the first round.
Yeah, get out of here.
You know how hard it is to lose a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter, back-to-back games? We did that. We did that.
Pretty fucking
Playoffs.
We did that.
Yeah. But yeah. It ain't happening for the Rockets.
No.
On to some additional free agency news. This Blazer story, it's getting more and more interesting by the week, or not interesting, depending on how you look at it. Apparently the Blazers they don't really have an urge to get a deal done with Dame. I mean, it's fine if it happens, but okay, it's fine. Wanted to see what you guys think. Do you see a deal getting done at all? If not, when? I'm not saying Miami has to be the destination, but is anything going to happen here, or is it just a bunch of smoke?
It's smoke, but something will happen.
Yeah, something's going to happen, and the something is going to be Dame will end up in Miami. And like I said, I'm not sure if I brought this up last week. It seems like the Blazers GM has a new fucking press conference every week talking about Dame. But you know who's
Yeah.
not saying anything? It's Pat Riley. He's sitting there quietly, like, all right, go ahead, waste your time, keep talking, keep talking, keep talking. You're gonna send them to me. Because as time goes on, the Blazers lose more and more leverage. And everyone's like, oh, but Miami, they just had Gabe Vincent and Max Strus walk. It's like they were both undrafted.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck about
Yeah,
those
that was
players.
house money.
Yeah, and like that's what the Heat do. So like literally Heat culture is like, all right, we're gonna find these undrafted guys and make them serviceable. So if you guys want to keep wasting time, go into the season with and Dame's still on the Blazers, all you're doing is decreasing his trade value because the more that he does not play, or the longer that he's on the Blazers, the less you got to give up. It's like, I mean, I would have gave you 3 first rounds in Tyler Hero in the summer, but since you decided to wait, now I give you 2 first rounds in Tyler Hero. You know what I mean? Because it's just
Right.
I didn't even get it. I'm not getting the value. I'm like, now we're throwing them in mid-season. We don't have the continuity, all those types of things. So I just feel like the Blazers, they try to like make it seem like they have leverage, but they really don't. And at the same time, it's like the deal is gonna get done. And it like for the Heat, like the way that the Heat are constructed, or their culture is just like, bro, like we don't care like what we go into the season with because like everyone on our team will play hard. And let's not forget that we just made the finals and we were in the play-in. So
Yeah.
I think we can make it to the play-in without Dame from day one. So at the end of the day, the Blazers have no leverage because if Dame is still in Portland when the season starts, like it might be an AD situation where they're like not even playing him, and then they just look like more stupid. And there's going to be more pressure on him from the media because it's like you guys are wasting his prime. You need to get the deal done, yada yada yada. So it's going to get done.
Oof,
I agree.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of other things getting done, apparently Harden wants to be a Clipper. Do you see that getting done? And will that make the Clippers actually a threat?
Russell Westbrook makes them a threat.
Shut up.
but but on the real stuff, no, it doesn't.
You're
Because
crazy.
well, James Harden.
You're crazy.
No, I've been off that bandwagon for at least 3 years. So he's gonna put up high assist totals. He's gonna be in the low 20s. Cool. He's gonna look good. He's gonna turn back the clock every now and then. Oh, you know what? Kawhi and Paul George, they're both hurt. Now what? We're gonna rely on James Harden and Russell Westbrook? No, we're not, because you guys will lose.
That's not the question.
They won't be a threat with him. No.
If they're healthy, they're not a threat.
No, because they haven't even proved anything, even when they were healthy. So
you're telling me that if Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook are all healthy on the same team, they are not a threat.
They are not a threat.
Isn't Westbrook coming off the bench anyways?
You're crazy, bro. Even if he's coming off the bench, like with final 5 minutes of a game, he's gonna be on the
final 5 minutes. Yeah,
no,
exactly.
That's clutch time. So it's like even if he's coming off the bench, he's ending the game. But for you to say that Harden, Kawhi, Paul George, and Westbrook all healthy is not a threat is one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
All right, fine. Maybe I was overreaching.
Like
clearly,
stand your ground. What is wrong with you?
No.
All right,
clearly,
you forget what Kawhi did.
Don't back off your take.
Wait, hold on. Let me finish. It's like, even if they're healthy, okay, you know what? I'm going back on it because even when they were healthy, they didn't do much together. They didn't do anything. What did they do? What have they done together?
Did you see what
Zero?
Did you see
Zero.
what Westbrook and Kawhi did together for one game before?
Yeah, one game.
So I said if they're healthy, was Kawhi not cooking KD and locking him up? Like, what the fuck are we
That
talking
is a
about?
safe argument, though. If any team's healthy, they can realistically
Yeah, I
do
was about to
anything.
say, okay, yeah, for one game, yeah, okay, but they're not going to
I'm
be
saying
healthy.
for the
That's
whole
the point. Like that hypothetical makes it like it has no merit because they haven't been healthy. That's the problem.
All right. I'm not even a Clippers fan. I just know basketball. For you to say they're not a threat,
Not
is
a threat.
crazy.
Not a
Crazy.
threat.
I
Not
can't
a
wait
threat.
until the playoffs start.
Yeah, if they're all healthy, sure. Yeah, we'll see. And then they'll last for 2 games, and then James Harden will turn back the clock and choke the shit all over the place. And then Russell Westbrook will play hard as always. Paul George
And Kawhi
will
Leonard
look good.
get hurt in the same game.
Shit, probably. Or somebody gonna get hurt right before the playoffs. It always happens.
Well,
Always.
Speaking of players that can't get healthy, Lonzo Ball, man, out again. Bulls get the 10.2 disabled player exception. Lonzo Ball, man, is it time to hang it up, or should you just, keep pushing? The athlete mentality. What do you go from? Speaking, you guys actually did more athletic stuff than me, did sports shit. So in terms of getting repeat injuries, even in terms of extreme situations like Lonzo Ball, like what is the toll that it does for you guys as athletes, and what makes you want to keep going versus want to leave it altogether?
Well, Lonzo's is different than I mean, at least from what I've ever experienced. Because I've never had whatever is degenerative knees or knee issues to where it's like near impossible for me to walk. That's a whole different ball game than just, all right, I tore my ACL, I gotta work back in rehab, blah blah. It's like that's an internal issue. I feel like you try to come back, see how you see what works, and then if you don't feel as explosive or whatever, because he's never going to be as explosive as he once was ever again. But like, if you don't develop your game into something else, then I think it's just time to walk away. So
no,
that's just my point.
no. He's 25 years old.
I mean, he's just struggling to walk. That's what's crazy to me.
He's not. He's doing TikTok dances with his girlfriend.
Yeah, not moving.
Whatever. He's doing TikTok dances. So if he can stand up and do that bullshit, obviously, things aren't going well right now. But like, let's not forget, like, he's only 25 years old, and it's one thing, like, if you haven't already made it to, go through these like rehab struggles year after year. But lucky for him, he signed $100 million contract, and then he got hurt. So it's not like he's strapped for cash. So it's just like, all right, let me put my all into this rehab, try. Like, eventually he will get back on the court, for how long, I don't know, but like, he's gonna
right.
And you look at like some of these like OGs that started out great, and then same thing, had knee injuries. Think of like a Penny Hardaway, Sean Livingston, Brandon Roy. Like, they ended up having like a lot of knee injuries too, but they eventually got back out there. They weren't the same player, but like eventually he will get back out there. It's a tough situation, but that's life.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's true.
I
mean, because at the end of the day, I mean, athlete mentality doesn't leave you, because either like, because I mean, I guess speaking for my own self, I would try to go back, because I've never been like somebody like, damn, I'm just gonna walk away. But like, knees are knees. So I never lost. Get him out.
Ball is on.
All right, I just had to drop some of our ball, just because.
Ooh, I did want to cover this before we get to the next topic. But did you get to watch any the NBA All-Star Weekend or not?
No.
Man, the 3-point contest was really nice. I mean, it was already fun to watch. It was 3 points to 3-point, but Sabrina Ionescu absolutely tore the house down on her last round of shots. put down 37. I think she made like 20 of them in a row or something crazy like that. She was knocking them. It was just wow, and it was just cool to see. Obviously they can't do a dunk contest, but they did a skills challenge and everything else. Aces won the skills challenge. It was cool. Well, what I thought though was actually kind of funny. I was like, dang, I had this thought. I was like, damn, the summer league is going on and they have this big ass basketball dome for all this summer league stuff. Is WNBA in there?
Nope.
Why? If they're not, why aren't they in there? I mean, I don't know where they did their shit at, but I was like, where are they at?
Aces, they have their own stadium.
Oh, they were doing it at their own stadium. Got it.
That basketball dome's not even open yet. So summer league is played at UNLV. There's 2 gyms, so they have them like going back and forth. Summer league actually has a pretty sick setup because you just buy tickets for the day and then you can like walk back from game to game. Like,
yeah, I saw that campus. I think it was last season, and they were doing it like wide of the campus and everything. And I was like, wow, that'd be really sick to go because, like you said, it's all encapsulated right there, and you're just chilling out.
yeah. All right. Well,
But in lieu of a dunk contest, they should definitely do like an all-star layup contest.
a layup contest, and they still like miss.
But I'll be watching the All-Star game tonight. I think it's gonna be I think it's the most exciting thing on TV tonight on a Saturday. Who knows? I'm gonna try and watch some of this women's basketball game. All-Star.
You enjoy yourself.
I can't wait.
You enjoy yourself. All right. Now let's talk about this NFL news that we got going. Quentin Williams getting the bag. 4 years, 96 million with 66 million guaranteed. But you know why he got this deal, right?
Holdouts work.
That's part of that's a little part of it. Holdouts do work, but the reason why this got done, like right now in particular, you open your third eye.
Why is it?
Open your third eye. What happened this week in terms of the Jets?
Oh, Hard Knocks. Got to get that footage.
Yeah, so ain't no way you want Hard Knocks going on and he's having a holdout because that's going to be the main topic of discussion. So they're like, man, we got to do Hard Knocks. Like, let's get this deal done and just move on. Eat shit and move on. And with that being said, how do you feel about the NFL like literally forcing the Jets to do Hard Knocks? That's kind of crazy.
It is, but also it isn't. I'm not sure how the other Hard Knocks deals went down. I'm not sure if it was, oh, please. I mean, I could say for sure the Cowboys, Jerry Jones was like, hell yeah, buddy, come through. But the other teams, we don't know if it was another forced situation. Because at the end of the day, this is a business deal. This is a business deal for the league. It's no player benefits. It's a distraction. So it could have been similar dealings in the past. Like, here, Browns, you're going to have these cameras here, whether you want it or not. Or here, Colts, you're going to have these cameras here, whether you want it or not. Because the league as a business wants this deal done with this TV company. It could totally be like that. And so, yeah, when you operate in that way, of course, you're going to have players like, yeah, this is forced on us. Because who wants the media attention all the time? They have so many damn cameras around. They don't even know what they're shooting at any given time until like the end of the season. Oh, this is what you were shooting? You were making a Netflix show? No one knows.
That's true. I do gotta say though, is gonna be some much watch TV. Come on, man. The Jets, Aaron Rodgers, like, oh my god. Like, I didn't even watch Hard Knocks last year with the Lions, but I will be watching every episode of this one right when it gets dropped, or at least like the same day. I think it's definitely going to be entertaining. You got Robert Saleh on the hot seat. You got these young receivers. You got Sauce Gardner. Like, there's just a lot of personalities. So, shout out to HBO for making, or shout out to the NFL for making the Jets be the team that has to be on.
Yeah, we'll definitely be watching. It's going to be interesting. I think the first trailer is really just going to set the tone. That first teaser trailer, whatever they put out for the audience, that's going to be the one that's just going to set the tone. And I think that's going to say everything it's going to be right there.
Yeah, agreed.
But going back to Quinn Williams, I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, most guarantee for defensive tackle. I mean, if I'm Aaron Donald, I'm a little sauced. I gotta show out this season. Why not? But yeah, there a lot more emphasis as you're seeing that a lot more emphasis into the defensive line, offensive line, and you see other markets like running back take a hit because of that. The priority totally shifts.
Yeah. Speaking of running back, we got running back saying, I ain't coming to work unless you pay me more. Josh Jacobs said he's holding out. Saquon Barkley said he's holding out. And Dalvin Cook is just holding out to get the best money that he can.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about these? Dalvin Cook's in his own category. I feel like he can definitely help a contender, but I think he wants to be paid and also be on a contender. And I know we don't have the money for it, but damn, I would love to see Dalvin Cook on the Ravens.
Oh yeah, that would solve a lot of your issues, and you can clear up a lot of cap space immediately. Unload that room a little bit.
Yeah, it's like J.K. Dobbins, take a hike. Uh,
I think it's going to be interesting though, because I mean, I think okay, if one or both deals in terms of Josh Jacobs and Saquon, if they for sure don't get signed, I think the impact is worse versus if they do sign. If they don't, I won't even touch it if they do sign, because if they do sign, all is right in the world. If they don't sign, the ramifications for next season, not even for them, other running backs that are coming up on their deals for now, actually now and forever, all remaining running backs and their deals, unless something changes. This has a ripple effect if they don't sign, because at the end of the day, even if these teams perform better, the Giants and the Raiders, if they're okay without them playing, you can justify like, damn, we really don't have to pay. We don't have to pay these running back shit.
yeah, that's
You
true,
see this.
but we can both be real here and say that uh these teams will not be good if they don't have those guys at running back.
Yeah, definitely, but it's just like, for me, I start thinking about the ripple effect. If they don't sign, like, damn, this means like what? A lot of these running backs, you're gonna change position. Like, what are you gonna? This has. I mean, this almost leaks into like a job security conversation if they don't sign, because it's just like, holy hell, what can you do here?
Yeah. But I mean, they don't sign, they sit out a year, and it's the Le'Veon Bell situation all over again, but maybe this time they, prove themselves right. Like, luckily for them, they are still young. Josh Jacobs, 25, Saquon's 26. And, with two of them holding out, maybe they just train together the whole season. You got the USFL, maybe they hop in there. XFL.
That would be crazy. No, there's a lot of new ground here if they both don't sign, and that's why it is hard to kind of predict. And on one hand, you kind of want either one or both of them to sign, just because, like, oh my god, we don't have to see this reality. But this could be a real reality. And this season it's Jacobs and Barkley. Next season it's who? Like, I know Henry's coming up soon.
Yeah.
Next season it's who? Like, all these players are going to be coming up soon. And if they're not going to be willing to settle and do like Miles Sanders money and be on the Panthers, then shit, it's gonna mean something.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Like, going into next season, guess who the highest paid running back is?
Who?
You have to one guess.
Don't tell me. I'm gonna go with. It's not Derrick Henry.
No. Derrick Henry is in the last year of his deal. Next year, the highest paid running back is Bijan Robinson, who has not touched the ball yet.
Oh my god, there's no way I would have guessed that. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
that's crazy.
Wow.
That's how the running back market is right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's very eye opening.
yeah,
Given all the running backs in the league, and that's your next one going to the next season.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. So I'm pretty sure all these running backs are looking down to even Christian McCaffrey. I mean, they're all looking, because he was the last one to get a fat deal.
Yeah,
Going back from the Panthers, I believe. And shit, this is definitely going to mean something.
for
And
sure.
if you're the NFLPA, you can't really do anything.
Yeah, you can't because, like they always do, they just sign the first deal that they can get, and it's a bad deal. But that's what happens when you got thousands of people involved, and just trying to get that quick, fast money rather than revolutionize the game like the NBA players. But what else we got in news before we wrap?
We have this Kamara story. I mean, he ended up doing a no contest to his misdemeanor charge going back. I think it's like the Vegas incident. I believe that's the one. But he basically is gonna have to pay some fines and do like hours of community service. But the league still hasn't even ruled on how many games he's supposed to be out, if anything at all. So that's the thing there, and that's where it gets interesting. Where like you have these entities in terms of sports, where like legally my situation ran its course, but now I have to go through like a fake trial by fire with my job. Like, if you're the league, like, come on, dude. I have community service. I have fines legally. This is taken care of. Now I have to sit through another proceeding. Like, come on, Goodell.
Yeah. Also,
The last one you're gonna tell
happened
me
2 years
4
ago.
games.
Come on, bro. It happened 2 years ago. Like, you let him play all last season. I think you just move on.
Yeah, exactly. You let him play pending the case. So now the case is done. You have your results here. So what are you gonna do? Even if it's one game, you make yourself look bad. You know. But again, they've been looking bad, so I guess it's fine.
Yeah. I agree. I just hope they do it before fantasy draft season starts.
Yeah, we need answers. We definitely need answers.
Well, all right. Last week we did the South. So this week we on to the North. NFL predictions. Let's start.
Round 2.
Yes, sir. Let's start with the lesser of the two divisions, and that would be the NFC North.
Oh, I was about to say, wow. All right. Yep.
No, what are we talking about? So
I thought you were. Yep.
So we got the Packers. Believe it or not, they're over under for wins on the season 7.5. How do we feel about that? Filthy. What you got?
The needle doesn't really move with me with the Packers. The defense is what the Packers defense is so interesting because they can always be so good on paper, and then the execution is literally poor a lot of the time. Jordan Love, I know everyone's buying into him, but I don't know. I got to see it. I don't think the Packers are even gonna come out the division anyways. I got them at 7.
All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hashmaster.
I got them at 7 too.
Ooh. Well, not gonna lie, guys. I think 7's too much. I got them at 6.
Ooh.
I got them at
okay.
6. I do not believe in Jordan Love.
Yeah.
And they were 8 and 9 last year, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, Aaron Rodgers, even a bad Aaron Rodgers, is at least 2 games better than Jordan Love. So Packers 6-11, time to rebuild.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I didn't even think about that. See, a lot of the stuff, these predictions, I don't even take into account. Like you said, the Aaron Rodgers is good for a 2-game differential. Damn, I didn't even think that hard. I just look at the schedule, win as is, and I bet my predictions would be a lot more accurate if I went about it that way.
But even though you're right, legendaries, I think the Packers could have won 9 to 10 games last year. But
who?
Shit happened. They shouldn't have lost to the Lions. First off, and then I'm pretty sure there was a few close games last year where if just Aaron Rodgers had the right weapon, they would have won. But that's why it's like, okay, 7 wins. I think that's appropriate. So,
all right, we shall see. Next, we gonna talk about the Bears. The Bears also have a win-loss or over-under at 7.5. And I gotta say, I got the Bears going over. Justin Fields in year 3. He's got a real number 1 receiver, DJ Moore. He's got a number 2 receiver now, Darnell Mooney. And then he's got
Yes.
Chase Claypool, who will probably get cut. But
Yep. Cole Kmet, though.
yeah, Cole Kmet.
He has a line. Darnell Wright.
Yeah. So I got the Bears going 8-9.
Okay. All right. Okay. I thought you were gonna say something crazy. I was like, nah, don't do it, man.
Nah, they got a favorable schedule, and Justin Fields has actually been pretty good in cold weather. So
Right.
cold weather games late in the season, I can see him getting 8 wins.
Yeah.
How about you, Hash Master?
I had him at 8. I had him at 8 wins as the floor, and then I had him highest 9. They could probably squeak in one more game, but I'm gonna give them 8 games. Year 3, yeah, I think at this point, you just want to see strides, and 8 wins from fucking 2 years in a row. I that's a huge improvement.
Yeah,
So
agreed. Filthy, how you feel about these Bears?
I got them. So I had a hard time between the Bears and the Lions, just because these are two teams I
yeah,
feel like they're really like momentum heavy, and they can definitely put win streaks together. They can put comebacks together. Justin Fields is an impact player and does swing a game. I don't think he's gonna put down, or I'm not implying he's gonna do like a Michael Vick season again, but his presence on the field last season was incredible and swung games
yeah,
left and right. So I don't want to get too crazy. I totally agree. They are still getting comfortable in terms of the new organization and team, and everyone's still kind of getting comfortable. I do like the additions from the draft. But I have them at 9. I have them at 9, very safe. But man, this team could
okay,
totally flip into double digits.
yeah.
All right.
Worst to first situation. That's what the Bears' potential is.
Interesting. Well, since you said you love the Lions so much, let's talk about these Lions. They
What?
got their win total 9.5 games. I got them going over. I got them going under, guys.
Ooh,
How far under?
9-8.
okay, 9-8. That's not. It's funny
Simply not
because
good enough. Jared Goff is simply not good enough. I think he had a little hot streak last season. I feel like he comes back down to earth this season. Obviously, their offensive coordinator is great, probably one of the top 3 in the league. But no, sorry. They're the Lions.
yeah, no, I get it.
9-8. Like I can't give them more than that.
Yeah,
And also,
absolutely.
I believe that they're really going to miss Jamal Williams, because Jamal
17.
was so money in the red zone last season. Like it
Yep.
wasn't even fair. But now they're rolling with the rookie Jahmyr Gibbs, and I think there's going to be a bit of a learning curve there. It doesn't help that Jameson Williams has to miss another 6 games after missing pretty much all of last season. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. 9 wins, biting your kneecaps once again.
I have them going over. I understand. I understand the sentiment. I think their defense is going to be a little bit better to where they're not going to fall down a 1-6 hole. And when I say over, I mean what? I think they'll go 11-6, especially in that division. Jared Goff, even though he may not be my favorite quarterback, and he does tend to get hot and cold, I think he's gonna, like what Filthy said about momentum. I think this is theirs this year. I'm going for it.
Filthy.
Well, the thing about Jared Goff too, I mean, the guy plays in a dome. He doesn't have to really deal with the cold weather. His schedule, I mean, he doesn't have that too many games where he has to deal with bad weather. I mean, his start to the season pretty rough. I mean, depending on the time of year, Chiefs, Packers to start. These can be potential bad weather games. I mean, you get later into the season, Vikings, but I mean, he's inside of a dome, so I think that means something. I think that momentum still continues from last season. I think Jahmyr Gibbs does make a big of an impact. I think I mean you gave up Swift for a reason, so they're believing in him. So I'm going to believe in that. I think Gibbs does make an impact. I think Brian Branch getting there, I think that does help the defense immensely. Sam Laporta as a tight end. I mean, he killed it. I don't even remember the tight end they had last season, and he was really productive. And now they actually have someone who's arguably better or can be better. I think that means something. Still, when you see the execution of it all, their schedule it's tight, man. Especially when you get to the middle of the season and these rivalry games, the schedule's getting tight, and momentum only means so much. And at the end of the day, a brick wall is a brick wall. So I have them at 9 just because they have to show me more for me to really commit to doing something more. But just like the Bears, they could slip into double digits.
Yeah. And last but not least, we got the defending NFC North champions, the Minnesota Vikings, who surprisingly has a win total at 8.5. But I got them going over.
Yeah.
Come on. Vikings, 10-7, win the division once again.
That's fair. That's fair to think that. It's Kirk Cousins, year 2 in homeboy system, and generally quarterbacks in year 2 do better than they did in year 1. I get where you're coming from. I'm gonna give them above 8.5, but except they have 9 wins for me. I think that if they get into a lot of those shootouts or 1-score games, I think this time around, they go 4-4 versus 8-0.
Well, all right. I think because it's year 2, they're not going to be in those tight games.
I like I said,
up. Jordan Addison. They got rid of Thielen, pulled in Jordan Addison. I like that.
Like I get your reasoning, but I gotta stick with the Lions. I gotta stick with them.
I would bet, but I don't care enough about that division too. Filthy, how you feel about these Vikings?
The Vikings are interesting, man, just because of last season alone. But I mean, you do have another year in, so it's year 2. Things should be looking up. I mean, you get younger at running back. But my problem with the Vikings specifically was not even the offense. It was the defense. The defense was like
trash.
A cat with no teeth, man. It's just like, what do you do? Like, the defense couldn't hold water. And I just can't. I mean, sure, 13-4 last season. 8-0 in those 1-score games. I do agree you should be making improvement as a year 2, so maybe you avoid as so much of those. But the schedule's kind of tight, man. Like, Niners are getting smacked. Certain Chiefs you getting worked. Eagles you getting worked. Saints looking tough. Bengals, shit, you might lose. But they're still a team to beat. I got them at 11.
All right. Now let's get to the real division.
All right.
The real North.
Real North.
AFC North. Let's start with the worst team in the AFC North from last season.
I love that, by the way. Let's get to the real North. Let's get to the team. Let's get to the division. Let's start with the worst team.
Yeah, that's true. But the worst team last season, probably the season before that, historically, the Browns.
The Browns.
They got their win total at 8.5. Hashmaster Z, how do you feel about Deshaun Watson?
They're over 8.5 this year. And Deshaun Watson, full off season. Yeah, I think if he's back to the Deshaun Watson we know, or at least close to it, Browns are winning 10 games. Real shit. They are. Schwartz is the defensive coordinator with that wide 9 with Myles Garrett. Bro, they're about to feast. So I think the Browns are going to win 10 games. this division is what everyone thought the AFC West was gonna be. So
Okay.
Like that.
Filthy.
The Browns are very interesting. Like going back to Freddie Kitchens, like I always felt like they could potentially probably do something, and they always prove me wrong. So I never really say it out loud. But this season, it's very interesting. I feel like just because of all the negative light Deshaun Watson is in, I feel like he has been putting his head down and committing to getting better in camp, doing work in camp. I mean, not that I'm searching out Watson footage, but I mean he just looks committed. At the end of the day, he does have that fat contract, so maybe it's just a job. But I think the additions that they did, especially on defense, the defense is always
exactly.
close to being really good. And I think they have opportunity to scare a lot of teams. They may lose close games, but I think they can scare a lot of these good teams.
Yes.
But given the schedule as is, this division is tough as well. They could definitely tie and maybe like put some smoke on a 11 win team. But for now, I got them going 9.
Yep.
All right. I got them going 8.
Okay.
3-3 last season. That was Deshaun Watson. Obviously not the entire team.
Right.
But it's just a schedule, man. It's a schedule. I don't see them beating the Bengals, period. I don't see them beating the Ravens, period. They could possibly beat the Steelers.
You know what's funny as you say that? Did you know that all the AFC North teams tied in the division 3-3, all split down the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna throw in the Browns could definitely beat the Bengals.
And Joey Burrow never beat the Bengals. I mean, never beat the Browns at home until this year. So, just saying.
I just think when you look at the way that it's set up, like the Browns play the Bengals week 1, I think the Bengals are going to win.
Yes, that's correct.
So that's already one. And then they play them week 18. So, and that one's at Cincinnati. So the only way that they'll win at Cincinnati week 18 is if Cincinnati already has the division wrapped up. But if that's for the division, like, ain't no way. That's a sweep right there. But we'll get to the Bengals in a bit. Let's talk about the Steelers, who also are at 8.5 wins. Filthy, do you believe in the streak being continued by Mike Tomlin?
What is it? It's at least 8 wins, right?
No losing seasons.
No losing seasons.
Oh yeah, no, I gotta believe. I'm gonna believe on that. Like I do like Tomlin. The only thing I don't like is I wish he would leave the Steelers and come to Dallas, but I know that's never gonna happen. That's how much I like Mike Tomlin though. But no, I totally will. I believe that at the very least, no, they will not have a losing season. So I'm gonna go another 9 wins.
Really?
Yeah, no way.
Okay.
Tomlin's too good, man. He defense they put down for him, they will jump over the Grand Canyon for this man.
They will.
At the very least, they may not come out and make
and look pretty
wild card, but they're not gonna let Mike Tomlin down. They're at least gonna keep that going.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I'm going under 8.5. The streak ends today, 6-11. Matt Canada can't do it.
Wow.
Kenny Pickett is not that guy. Defense is gonna play fucking phenomenal, but I don't see it. So I'm going 6. Somebody got to lose.
Wow.
Somebody got to lose.
That's crazy. Well, yeah, somebody has to lose, but it's not going to be Kenny Pickett and the Steelers. I got the Steelers 9-8. Mike Tomlin, the streak stays alive. Kenny Pickett in year 2 of the system, bringing back Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, but the goon, George Pickens in year 2. Better make him the feature receiver. But, I mean, also, Freiermuth is nice. And
yeah, he's nice. He's nice.
Have a solid defense. So 9 wins.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let somebody else kick this off. We don't. Somebody else kick it off. You know what? You know what we talking about. I don't want to seem too biased now. Let me see what
Oh,
fools got to say.
so there's a lot of flocking going around here. Baltimore Ravens. But, Baltimore Ravens. I'm gonna be honest. I think every time Lamar Jackson has been healthy, the Ravens have been a number one team in the AFC conference, not just the AFC North, AFC conference. And then he gets injured, the wheels fall off, and then they end up being 9-8 or 10-7 the last 2 years. This year, he's gonna be healthy, and they're gonna end the season 13-4, and he's gonna have a similar season like Jalen Hurts did last year, minus the 13 rushing touchdowns. He's gonna be throwing 30 touchdowns and rush for 800 something yards with 6 added on the ground.
I like
and Baltimore's defense is going to be a top 3. Real shit. Rock Ya-Sin, I just, he's going to come out. He's going to come out and get some turnovers this year. Kyle Hamilton is actually playing safety, not nickel.
Year two.
Whew. Like, there's too much to like about the Baltimore Ravens other than Lamar Jackson getting paid and the new receiving weapons. There's a lot. So I'm going 13-4.
All right. I like it. Okay. All right, Filthy. Talk to me. Raven.
Yeah, the Ravens, man. I definitely believe in them. They're improving in all the right ways. That offense, I really can't wait to see that in action. But they arguably do have a tough end to their season. I'm not saying they're gonna lose. I'm not saying that's a collection of L's or anything like that, but it's arguably tougher. Hold on, I'm fucking up right now. But so I do have them at 11. But just to end the season, it's like you got Steelers to end it. So we don't know how hard their record's going to be. That could be the 9th win, or could, you know what I mean? The Dolphins, Niners, Jags. That's a run right there. And shit, those are tough games. So I do want to give them like a lot of run for sure. But man, just to close out, it's tough. And so I got them at 11, just playing it safe. But I still have them. I have them getting a postseason run.
Okay. I feel it. And you know me. We going 13-4. I've crunched the numbers. First of all, I don't understand the Jags fear. Like, I feel like it's a little irrational. But on top of that, it's a revenge game because the Ravens gave it up last year to the Jags. If you forgot about that. So I know that, especially the week of that game, that's going to be on their mind. And on top of that, Sunday night football game. So added incentive, Lamar Jackson in prime time. That Ravens defense going to give Trevor Lawrence fits. So they're going to handle that one. They do have a tough stretch, though. I agree with you. But more revenge games. They got the Dolphins at home. You remember how they gave it up to the Dolphins after they were dogging them. So they're not going to take their foot off the gas in that one. And Lamar's from Miami. And then obviously week 18 at home against the Steelers. At home is always, important when it comes down to these rivalry games. But real talk, we've been giving it to the Steelers with Snoop Huntley lately. So I'm not too afraid of that one. The Christmas Day game, that will be an interesting one. But the thing, and we're going to talk about the Niners more once, we talk about the NFC West, but it's just like, who is going to be playing quarterback? Because, and then also like Brock Purdy, was it just, flash in a pan, or we really just believe in like, Brock Purdy, that's the dude. So there's a lot of question marks when it comes to the Niners. I don't want to just like instantly crown them. And I also was like, hey, maybe DeMeco Ryans a dude that has a head coaching job now. Maybe he's that good, and like this new guy stepping in is gonna have the defense take a step back. So I just feel like there's been a lot of turnover with that, the Niners coaching staff, and on top of that, just also with the quarterback situation. So we'll see. That's me going off on a bit of a tangent there, but I got the Ravens at 13-4, and don't be surprised, if we 8-1, 9-1 to start the season.
Yeah, that's very possible too.
And how you feel about the Bengals?
The
Filthy?
Bengals, man. I def I their schedule didn't really. I didn't see anything to really argue in terms of a degrade or upgrade from last season. So I got them still repeating at 12. But I think that division overall is still getting tighter. I think it comes down to tiebreakers. I think the records are a lot more closer than it was last season between all four teams. And I think it'll come down to legit interdivision play, and some teams are going to have really tough outs.
Yeah. I feel you there. I feel like because they're running it back, I think they're gonna once again end it at 12-5, maybe 11-6, but I got them going 12-5. They're running it back with, the same roster, same coaching staff. Yeah, man, you just gotta give respect to the Bengals, but not too much respect because the Ravens are just gonna be a game better. That's how it goes.
All right, Bengals take a minor step back, but they're going to win 11-6. They're going to go 11 games. That trio, that receiving trio's nasty. Joe Mixon is probably going to go back on a reduced deal. So
Yeah, it's confirmed. He took a pay cut.
Exactly, and plus of all the bullshit he's been into. So yeah, Joey B, second place.
Yeah, fair enough.
With that being said, that's going to be a wrap for episode 22, the Emmett Smith episode. I like to call it the Doug Martin episode, but who's that? I'm just kidding. Emmett Smith episode for sure. Like always, like and subscribe. Follow us on all social media platforms. Next week, we going to talk about the East, AFC East, NFC East. Until then, peace.
Out.